Hello, everybody, and good afternoon, evening, morning. Yeah. Well, I have Vyros 2 versus Vlad 1. This was a prearranged matchup. I put a considerable amount of thought into it. I have a lot of respect for my Khador opponent and wanted to give him a fantastic game. And I had plans for if I go first, if I go second, if it's a live scenario, and if it's a dead scenario, how I pursue my win conditions and how I play this game. I did not expect there to be a war wagon, and I did expect there to be another unit of Winterguard rockets. So that is a little bit not what I was planning, but it is a little bit easier for me to play into because how I feel like I lose this game is that the Jacks stay out of my threat ranges or just stay in Griffon's threat ranges and kind of bully where I can go a little bit. Not necessarily bully me because I can take their alpha and be okay with it, but taking the alpha from them and more or less what I am a little bit worried about is just being shot to death over the course of the game of being shot to death by rockets. Like, they're not going to kill me in one turn. They're not going to kill me in two turn. But over several turns, they can get good chip damage through if they really focus fire, and I don't have the shield guards around what they focus fire on. I'm also a little bit worried about them pulling off my battle mages and my Arcanist units and Arcanists outside of feat turn. I have on my feat turn, I can really punish them for taking shots at my Arcanist battle mages and units. So this is dead scenario, and I am going second. He got up the board, and I got up the board as well. Because this is dead scenario going second on this map, my plan is to try and lay claim to this area in the middle and just plan on baiting his Jackson as soon as possible. And the reasoning for that is that once the Jacks are out of the way, I have several different win conditions that are available to me that they are no longer getting in my way. One of the win conditions is I can sit on that middle scenario and contest right here, right there, and contest right here and right there, and just be scoring this middle zone and go to turn 7 winning on scenario, or just get a little bit ahead of them. Because if I can contest right here and right here and right here and right there, he's not going to be able to shoot down 2 of those each turn, and I can be healing back up and shield guarding, spreading the damage, having everything heal at my heal objective, and just eke out ahead on that way. The other way, one of the ways I can lose is if I try and go for this long-term play. He can just be like, I'm not going to kill Vyros 2 in 1 turn, but I might kill Vyros 2 in 2 turns, and then just start dumping a bunch of rockets into Vyros 2. So I do have a plan for that, which you will see in the future. The other thing is once these Jacks are out of the way, there's not much stopping me from taking Griffons and Manticores and Imperitus and Vyros 2, and just as long as I've got shield guards for Vyros 2, running them pretty much straight at Vyros. Because then he's not casting Stallion's Importance, and he's probably running somewhere. If he does Blood of Kings, there's a good chance that I still might be able to kill him on a 3 camp. But I get more shots at it because without Signs Importance, the rockets and the rifles are missing sometimes, and they're also just not doing the chip damage that they need to do. Signs Importance over all those dice is a really big deal. So let's see how things develop. He comes up and he takes some shots that are shield guarded around. Rockets here, rockets here, rockets here. These guys all came up and did sprays into my Griffons. Not a whole lot done. I've got a Manticore that's got no force field, and I've got 2 Griffons with no force field. But more or less, I'm feeling pretty good right now. So, goal for retaliation, I didn't expect to have the Jacks be this close to me. I also didn't expect to have a chance to take out rockets this turn. I expected them kind of be at max range. So at some point in the synergy chain, this Griffon's going to walk over here. Excuse me. And bop all 3 of those rockets. And then Manticore is going to lay down a covering fire template right in front of the Griffon. I can't remember how hard Winterguard charge, but I think Joe makes them hit harder or something like that in melee. And I also remember Signs Importance. I just don't want to lose a Griffon to like 6 Winterguard or something like that. I've never seen Winterguard charge, but it's something I've heard of. So I respect it, and I put down the covering fire template. If I had the focus, and this was something I was debating at the end of the turn, this Magister can zip over to right here, do a whip snap on one of these guys, and actually port the Manticore 2 inches forward so they can see the Marauder, and then he could charge the Marauder. I had to choose where my focus was going, and I wanted to keep Vlad on a full camp. So with my Arcanist, I instead invested in this Griffon and Imperitus and another Griffon. Between my Griffins, my Battle Mages, and Vyros 2 shot, almost all of these Winterguard get cleared out, and Imperitus charges the objective, sidesteps into the... he obliterates the objective with a 12 for a damage roll and does 16 damage to it. And he sidesteps into a spot where he's engaging these 2 rockets, and he also can beat up on the Juggernaut. However, he rolls double ones to hit on the Juggernaut, and then his next attack he rolls double ones for damage. So Juggernaut lives. I do have some redundancy built into my list. And this Griffon comes across the board, and he rolls pretty good. He rolls like an 11 on one of his damage rolls, on a 9 on another, and then kills the Juggernaut, and I think he had another attack left over. All my other Griffins and Manticores heal up their force fields. Vyros ends up right about here. I'm looking at the turn. Oh, one Griffon just comes over. His war wagon ran behind me and just stands in front of the war wagon. Smacks it a couple of times to build synergy. I'll just show you on the next screen because a little mess up on my part. Towards the end of my activations, where Vyros 2 was right here with his feet, I did some good things. I put an Arcanist base to base with Vyros 2, so if any rockets shoot at Vyros 2, they will probably kill the Arcanist, and I can move shield guards to Vyros 2. Or I can move Vyros 2 base to base with more Arcanists and get more or dead battle mages and start moving Vyros 2 to safer places from the rockets. But I messed up. This Manticore right here was supposed to be 3 inches away from Vyros 2. I did not actually give him the distance to be within 3 inches of Vyros 2. And he's just blocked in with all the support infantry I have. So Vyros 2 has no shield guards. Quite a bit of a little blunder there. I think I stretched myself a little too thin. He is on a 2 camp with deceleration up and under feet, so I feel like he should be fine. The reason why I put him backwards instead of putting him forwards, where you would have the shield guards, is that if rockets do... I don't want to play a long, drawn-out game at this point. If rockets do try and go on the assassination for Vyros 2 and they fail, which I expect them to, the rockets will be within range of my battle mages and be within range of my Griffins, and I can try and take out all the rockets in one fell swoop. And then just Vyros 2 can go somewhere safely. Yeah. The other thing why I put Imperitus into that Juggernaut was because now I took out the primary way of dealing with him. And now there's this awkward spot where I've got an Imperitus very close to Vlad under my feet. And more than likely, I'm expecting him not to even deal with any of this giant pile of Arcanists because that'll be too many feet moves. And Imperitus might just kill Vlad. So that being said, my opponent should be, in my opinion, looking to deal with Imperitus. However, things go south. There's some table talk going on in the game. My opponent gets frustrated because he's getting sidelines advice, and some of it doesn't fit with what he's planning, and his mind's being torn all over the place. And we're telling him, no, that's not going to work on every single little thing that he's trying to do, and it's just pissing him off. And we're talking way too much. In all honesty, there was too much sidelines advice. It's kind of a sticky situation. There's a lot of things have been neutered. He has some semblance of an assassination run. So he starts his turn. He walks his field gun over, and takes a shot, or Joe gave it +2 to hit. Field gun takes a shot at Vyros 2, misses the signs importance feat shot that he needed, and concedes at that point due to all the sidelines talk, all the frustration from getting all this and that and information and not being able to play the game he wants to. So I don't want to do a short video, so I'm going to talk about the playstyle, the things I planned out and what I wanted to do going into this matchup. If I go first, my plan, and if I go first and it's a live scenario, my plan is to sit on scenario and literally just have nothing but Griffons, a couple of Griffons in the threat range of his jacks, and start pulling jacks and shooting rockets with my battle mages and try and whittle away his jacks and sit on scenario until he loses. If I go first and it's a dead scenario and I'm not too worried about that, my plan is literally to take my army, ball it up, kind of like, I mean, this is somewhat of a dead scenario. I modified my plan because I felt like I could own and live in that little square right here. But like if it was the pit or something, it's just ball up my army and pretty much run it at Vlad and try and keep Vyros 2 from dying. And I'm going to have trailing Arcanists and battle mages and stuff like that behind. But yeah, just kind of run my army at Vlad and hunt him down. And I don't think he has the damage to kill me in one turn. So just try and get to Vlad with Griffon's, Manticores, Imperitus, everything that I can. If it's a live scenario and I go second, my plan is, and his jacks are somewhat up in my face, and he's got rockets like a concave, and he's got his jacks spread out, which is how I would expect him. I want to take my whole entire army and skew aside, and then try and force an engagement early where only 2 of his 3 jacks can get involved and get them out of the picture. And then if he doesn't have feet anymore, oh, and part of this assumption is I make it so that only one of his jacks can reach me with Boundless Charge. So he would hopefully be tempted to pop feet and send both jacks in. Otherwise, I just gain back all the disadvantaged ground of going second. Those were the different types of gameplays and strategies I was thinking about coming into this game. This also is my less Griffons version of Vyros 2. It's got 2 Manticores and a unit of battle mages. Which somewhat resembles my old Vyros 2 list before the CID, which had like 7 Griffons, battle mages, and a Manticore and Imperitus. Clearly, this is a better list post CID, but yeah, I'm liking this so far, and I'm doing the battle mages to give me legs into Zadesh or Makita or these other matchups that have heavies that are just annoying. It also gives me a little bit of like magic ability 7, 16-inch threat, just POW 10s that I can just kill random model slot with like rockets, which a lot of my battle mages crapped the bed on taking shots at these rockets. Like I had hit them, which was cool because I needed 5 to hit, and then they had an armor 13 and it's a POW 10, and I kept rolling 2 and 1 and 1 and 1. It was pretty bad. He didn't roll any tough checks, though, so it probably just balanced out. This will be one of... I don't expect to get very many games against my opponent like this. I don't expect it to go this way very many times. I'm kind of catching him off guard and getting these types of situations, and I'm just going to take them while I can get them. I really do not expect this to happen much anymore. But thank you for watching, and have a nice night, day, morning, afternoon. Thanks. Bye.